Hello. All right, it's time. It's time to conclude. Yay! All right, it's time to conclude. We're gonna make it. Par five. Par five is so important. I keep saying that. Are you tired of me saying that? All right. Well, it is what it is. All right. I'm happy you're here. Thank you. And again, I just want to appreciate you all for sharing this out. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you for supporting. I hope that this was helpful today. We're not done yet. I mean, there's some more. But if you can please share this out in case anyone needs to hear it. Part 5, choose inspiration. I think now more than ever, with our crisis right now, this part is very, very, very important. So part 5, choose inspiration. If you want to be happy, be. By Leo Tolstoy. When I first read that, I didn't know what it meant. And I think now I get it, because the more I focus on just being here right now, being in this moment, the more I understand that I can be happy no matter what is happening. And I'm grateful. I understand that's within reason. I mean, right now I have food and shelter and my children and husband are safe. So I'm able to be happy. All right, inspiration is a noun. It means the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something creative. The process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something creative. If your life was a stool, are you ready? If it was a stool, responsibility, organization, self-care, and self-acceptance are each a leg on the stool. The seat that connects all 4 legs is the 5th critical life choice, inspiration. Inspiration connects the other 4 choices and fuels you to improve and live each choice. All 5 choices are essential for balance and achieving your best life. You cannot have the best life if you are missing any one of the choices. The other choices are in many ways easier to master as they are more tangible and easier to understand. This last choice can be challenging because choosing to be inspired is a mindset. It's a shift in perception. It is energetic. Choosing to be inspired requires surrender and trust of a concept. Inspiration is now. I don't mean to discourage the planning and goal setting stage, but if that is all that you are doing, then inspiration is short-lived. Planning can be inspirational, but our spirit will eventually feel let down if we never transition to the doing, and there will be a lack of trust. Often when I'm feeling restless, down, or bored, it is not a lack of ideas or planning that are missing, but that I am feeling uninspired. I often find that the lack of inspiration literally happens because there is a lack of movement and doing. A simple action like going on a walk is all that is needed to move out of the funk of not doing. It is essential that I do and follow through on one of my ideas to create something. Physical movement can be the catalyst for moving past your uninspired moments into inspired moments. Inspiration is an amazing gift. We all have it, but I notice that many of us in the moment of inspiration, we turn away or maybe even feel, I will do it later. This is dangerous. It is dangerous to ignore inspiration. Each time we ignore the inspiration inside, it becomes that much harder to return. With that being said, I also believe that inspiration is just waiting for something as small as a prayer to reignite hope and inspiration. Inspiration is now. Do now. Resisting the urge to wait for the perfect moment, situation, or person can be exhausting and limiting. Exercise. In this moment, what is the inspiration within you most wanting to come out? In this moment, what is the inspiration within you that is most wanting to come out? What is the one thing you can do to honor this inspiration? What is the one thing you can do to honor this inspiration? What is the one thing you can do right now to connect to your inspiration? When you're feeling uninspired, remember, this is a theme. You are the expert of you. So when you're feeling blah and wanting to reconnect, all you have to do is take a deep breath, place your hand on your heart, and ask yourself, what can I do right now to connect to my inspiration? You will always receive an answer, always. You may not like it, but you will always receive an answer. The anatomy of inspiration includes getting perspective, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, trust, generosity, and gratitude. Join me in getting to know inspiration and be inspired to ignite inspiration in your own life. My prayer for you. I pray you focus on the inspirational flame inside of you. May you feed the fire within that wants to create and contribute to your community. Be intentional and create. Share and build a legacy. Live your best life. Part 5, Chapter 1. Get perspective. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. By Wayne Dyer. We spend most of our daily life consumed by our own little bubble. We forget there's a whole other world out there. A whole universe exists outside of our little bubble, and we are an intimate part of it all. Get out of your community and interact with others. Find the differences and similarities. Knowing people outside of your circle who are different and similar in many ways helps you to expand your network. The larger your network and sphere of influence, the more you grow, and your inspirations will follow suit. You will be inspired by others' skills and gifts. This will inspire you to build upon your own skill set. Meeting with others who have different perspectives will challenge your own beliefs. It will inspire you to grow. Growth and inspiration go hand in hand. Making an intentional effort to interact with people, ideas, and places that are foreign to you help you to learn and grow. Learning and growing are the ideal food and inspiration. Travel is one of the greatest experiences for inspiration. Now, I know right now that we cannot travel, but you can travel in different ways. So now with our virtual worlds, we can travel to museums. We can travel to other parts of the country through social media. We can interact with people of different cultures. There's still ways to open yourself up. Traveling changed my whole perspective regarding my views on God. When I was 23 years old, I traveled to countries whose religion was not predominantly Christian. This was the first time I was exposed to such a difference in culture and religion. Up until the age of 23, I had very limited perspective regarding faith outside of the Christian faith. I remember vividly in the span of 2 weeks, I visited a Hindu and Buddhist temple, a mosque, and my ignorant self was extremely humbled to find I felt God in all 3 temples. This was mind-boggling to me. How was God present in all of these faiths? How was my God present when people were praying to another God? Was it possible it was the same God? This shook my whole understanding of what was possible. It was a true game changer for me because I started to see that much of what I thought to be true might not be the complete truth. The realization broke so many mental barriers within me. It was huge. It has shaped my now understanding. God is everywhere and with everyone. It has inspired me to find that within every person I meet, regardless of their faith. I have since had similar epiphanies with other aspects of my life. It has been humbling and fascinating to be exposed to different forms of education, healing, food, and business practices. I continuously find it inspiring when I learn different ways of living life. It expands my mind and builds upon my own skill set and knowledge. Traveling has inspired so much growth in me. Every time I feel stuck or in a rut, I travel and get re-inspired. I have found it doesn't have to involve a plane ride or even a car ride. If I can go somewhere that I've never been before, it is inspiring, even if it's just a different neighborhood. How has travel changed you? Think of any time you have visited a new place, even if it was in the same town. How do you recreate the sensation of traveling right here, right now? Traveling can be very powerful because it inspires you to be in the now. You stop thinking and your senses are heightened. You see, hear, smell, and feel more than normal. Your brain changes. You actually form new connections in your brain. Reading can also do what traveling does. Reading exposes you to other opinions, perspectives, and expertise. Everything you learn, you can apply and expand. Reading exposes you to new people, places, and things. You can even be exposed to other realities through reading. Sometimes you get so caught up in your daily, regular life that you can go into autopilot. Have you ever driven the same route home and got home and wondered, how did you just get there? Have you ever zoned out during a routine activity? I know I have. I bet you have this. I bet you have. There we go. This can be physically dangerous, but on a smaller scale, it diminishes your inspiration. When you continue to do the same thing at the same time over and over, you miss the opportunity to invoke inspiration. Resets are so important. A reset can occur anytime you do something that takes you out of your routine. Partaking in a new activity snaps you into the present moment. Inspiration is here and now. When you do new things and have new thoughts, inspirations, and ideas, you become inspired. My prayer for you. I pray you look at your world with fresh eyes. May you be present to the sights, sounds, smells, and tastes of the present moment. May you remain open-minded and hearted to each person and situation you encounter. I pray you enjoy your life one moment at a time. So right now, during this situation that we're going through, for me personally, because life has gotten less complicated, there's less things to do, and it's just quieter. I'm finding that I'm noticing very subtle things that I didn't notice before. Have any of you noticed that in nature too? I'm finding that because we're not all out in nature, more animals are coming out. There's more colors. The sky is a little bit clearer. It's really quite incredible. So using this time to just be mindful of your surroundings. You can practice mindfulness just by sitting in any room in your house or outside and just practicing seeing things without placing meaning. So what I mean by that is that as I stare at my wall, instead of thinking there's a wall, I might think, okay, I see flat, I see yellow, I see shapes, trying to see things from a new perspective. Okay, I reread that. Part 5, Chapter 2, Get Uncomfortable. Viana, yes, I am noticing where my house needs more cleanliness too. And but the great thing is there's more time. There's a little more time to clean it, right? So that is good. All right. This chapter that I'm about to read, Getting Uncomfortable. Getting uncomfortable is one of my least favorite things to do. I don't like feeling uncomfortable, but I have found that the more I learn to be uncomfortable, the more I've grown towards living my best life, the happier and healthier I've become. So here's Getting Uncomfortable. To be outstanding, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, by Alik Kudenberg. The definition of uncomfortable: causing or feeling unease or awkwardness. My favorite poem, I love this poem by David Whyte, The Well of Grief. In my interpretation, oh my gosh, if you ever have the chance on YouTube, look up David Whyte, Whyte, David Whyte, Well of Grief. Hearing him read it is incredible. This poem is so beautiful. This is my interpretation of his poem. He's talking about the human tendency to avoid all that is uncomfortable and painful, but then points out that without going to that place, we cannot breathe. So going to that place where you feel so uncomfortable, you cannot breathe. We never find the answers or treasures in life. I have loved this poem for a long time because it continuously inspires me to embrace the dark spells in my life. Right now we're going through a dark spell, and there's so much we can learn and uncover from this moment. It helps us to delve. I find during the darkness of my most challenging moments, if I can just stick with it, the most beautiful treasures are revealed. So for example, right now I've been focusing on, with everything that's happening and my children are home. I still go to work, but when I come back, I'm trying to think what good can come from what's happening. One, I noticed my boys are spending more time together. We're having to communicate more with each other. We always ate dinner together, but now our dinner is extended. It's like an hour and a half because the boys have to tell us what they learned. We have to check in with them. And I'm noticing that during this dark time, I believe we were too busy before. We were too busy. We weren't spending enough time together. I think that it was hurting. I know it was hurting my health, all the busyness. So, I'm trying to learn, even though I feel uncomfortable, I'm trying to learn from it. Facing the uncomfortable is what makes me the best me. I understand it may seem counterintuitive to get inspired by being uncomfortable, but please hear me out. Can you remember a time you felt uncomfortable and you actually dealt with it and felt the feeling? For example, a confrontation, fear, or anything uncomfortable. How did it feel afterwards? Usually most people, upon confronting feelings of discomfort, report feeling better, and in some cases even feel a bit of euphoria. Like think of the time when you had to do something that really scared you and you're feeling fear, it's so uncomfortable, but then you finally get through it. I mean, there's a little high that comes from it. I find that when I stop to feel uncomfortable and work through the feeling, either through personal actions or actions with others, I always feel liberated afterwards. It almost feels like I shed a layer and I get closer to being my absolute best. So much of my nursing and coaching work with others has been about helping my clients and patients face feeling uncomfortable and growing from the experience. I have seen this hundreds of times when individuals sit with, feel, and deal with being uncomfortable. They always come through the other side a better person, always. You cannot live your best life without learning how to feel uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is inevitable and often signals an opportunity for growth. I have come to know this fear of being uncomfortable is often related to our ego's desire to keep us physically, emotionally, and spiritually safe. This notion of safety is a childhood misconception. Avoiding feeling uncomfortable rarely keeps us safe. So often it stops us from improving. Learning to feel uncomfortable, joining this with getting curious, is a winning combination. So an exercise you can do is get curious by asking yourself the following 4 questions when you feel uncomfortable. Why do I feel uncomfortable right now? This is such an incredible question, and we never even get to that question. Usually uncomfortable sits and we don't want to feel it, so we either go eat something, distract ourselves, get busy. But if you can just ask this one question, why do I feel uncomfortable? Then, what can I learn from this situation? Usually there's a beautiful lesson to be learned. If fear is involved, asking yourself, is my fear based on reality? Usually it isn't. Usually it's so far from the truth. But even just calling it out helps to work through it. Asking yourself, what is at stake right now? And then lastly, asking, what's the one thing I could be doing right now to be my best? What's the one thing I could do right now to be my best? These questions, when applied to feeling uncomfortable, will help you learn from yourself. Answering and applying necessary actions will directly contribute towards you becoming the absolute best version of yourself. Feeling uncomfortable has the potential to be an amazing tool for personal development. It has gotten to the point where I look forward to feeling uncomfortable because I know the potential of delving deep into being uncomfortable. I am curious and face the feeling of being uncomfortable and my fears that accompany. I like to use the previous questions to ensure I grow from my uncomfortable feelings. I continuously use the previous exercise when I feel uncomfortable to learn and change for the better. Being uncomfortable is a reality. We all feel uncomfortable, all of us. With new things, challenges, and intimacy, it is inevitable. What is not inevitable is learning from feeling uncomfortable. This is a choice and a commitment. If you commit to learning from your feelings, you will increase the quality of your life 100-fold. Feeling uncomfortable will never go away. It is a part of life. And yet I have witnessed with myself and others that we avoid it like the plague. All the time we spend avoiding dealing with the inevitable creates even bigger problems. It can affect your health, your relationships, and your overall well-being. Commit to face the inevitable and grow. The more you face uncomfortable feelings, the more comfortable you will get with being uncomfortable. Ironic, I know. My prayer for you. I pray you lean in, my friend, to any feelings you have that are fearful or feel uncomfortable. May you breathe into these feelings and learn from them. May you consider and discover why you are feeling what you are feeling. May you learn from yourself and face your fears. May you thrive and be fearless. All right. We're doing so good. So good. Part 5, Chapter 3. This is it. This is it. How's everyone doing? I want to thank you again for being here. I want to remind you that Live Your Best Life is available in paperback, ebook, and now audio on Audible and iTunes. And I also encourage you to check out my podcast, Live Your Best Life. I have over 270 episodes, lots of different helpful topics. Okay, here we go. Part 5, Chapter 3. This is it. Right here, right now. There is no place I'd rather be, by Jesus Jones. You're welcome. You're welcome, Viana. You're welcome, Tamara. Oh, you're welcome. All right. Once, when I was holding my beautiful 1-year-old son, who's now 8, but I wrote this a while ago, I got that uncomfortable feeling of, oh, I should be doing this, or I have to do that. You know when that happens? When you start thinking, I could be cleaning right now, I could be reading a book, I could be calling so-and-so, I could be finishing this to-do item. And then all of a sudden, I felt the warmth of his little hand. I can still feel it, his little wrinkles in his hand, how warm it was in mine. And I listened to the sound of his breathing, and I knew in my heart, this is it. This is it. How silly to be planning and thinking of the future or worrying about the past when this is the moment. This is the moment right here, right now. This is it. This is where it's at. It doesn't matter how joyful or how uncomfortable. This moment right here, right now is the gift. This is the gift, this moment right now. And no matter what you do, you will never, ever get this moment back again. It's over. Did you know all the answers lie in this one moment? Right here, right now, lie all the answers. If you do not believe, then be still, close your eyes, and ask whatever you want to ask. An answer will come. You may not like the answer and deny it, but an answer will come. If all the answers are right here, now in this moment, why not invest more time and energy into the present? Why not be here, right now? With our busy lives and the million technological distractions, it's all too easy to zone out all day. Commit to be present with yourself and mindful of the moments that you are everywhere, but right here, right now. Come back to this moment. Your life will be less stressful, and you will find yourself living the best life if you are in this present moment. I want to share something right now with this crisis that we're dealing with. The way to move through this is to be here right now, because it's when you start thinking about what could happen, what might happen, what if, you're leaving the moment. You're leaving the moment, you're panicking, it's no good. But in this moment right now, right here, right now, in this moment, I can ask myself, what can I do right now? What's happening right now? This moment is manageable. The what if is not manageable. It's not, because we have no control over it. I urge you to understand and feel that this is it. There's nothing else. The moment you go to the past or look into the future, it is very easy for unhappiness to creep in. There is very little satisfaction in the past or the future. You cannot change the past, and you have little control of the future. Exercise. In these moments where you feel your mind drifting to yesterday or tomorrow, I invite you to take deep breaths. Don't forget the power of breathing. Inhaling in through your nose, Feel the breath travel down into your belly, down to your feet. Feel your feet connect to the floor. Exhaling from your feet up to your belly, up your spine, then exhaling from your mouth. Continue to breathe, inhaling in, exhaling out. Take 5 deep breaths. This is very powerful to take 5 deep breaths. Embrace the sounds, sights, and feelings. I invite you to feel love for whoever you are in this one moment. Just feel love for this moment. Feel love for who you are in this moment. In this moment, you have access to direct intuition from your higher power, from your highest self. Daily, I pray, God help me to be aware of the opportunities that present themselves through people and ideas. This prayer has been key for me. So many great things happen, not because I am special, but because I am declaring to the universe and God that I am open to receiving. I find while this prayer is great, the best results are found when I spend time in the now. The moment of opportunities that present themselves are in direct proportion to the amount of time I spend in the present moment. This is it. This one moment has the potential to be the moment you have always waited for. What an amazing gift that is. It's truly amazing. My prayer for you. I pray you silence your mind and listen to the sound of your breath as you become intimately aware of this moment. I pray you are able to hear the sounds, taste the taste, see the colors, and feel the sensations of this moment. I pray you will surrender to this moment and feel the ecstasy of being here now. My goodness, we're doing so good. So good. Okay. Part 5, Chapter 4, Trust. Trust. How's everyone doing? Are you all right? We're getting so close. We're so close. So close. Okay. Chapter 4, Trust. Part 5, Chapter 4, Trust. Just trust yourself. Then you will know how to live. Gotra said that. Trust. Definition. Noun. A firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Living your best life includes learning to trust in the process. Trusting yourself, your purpose, your community, and your faith is key. This is an unshakable foundation for you to live your best life. Trust can be very challenging to build. As humans, we are hardwired to control our surroundings. While it is great to do your best and plan for success, there are many aspects of your lives where it is best to trust and let go. Tamara, I'm so glad this is helpful, that you like it. Thank you for tuning in. The truth is there is very little we can control. So learning to trust and let go. By the way, if you like this and it's helpful, share it out. Thank you. The truth is there is very little you can control. So learning to trust and let go of trying to control will increase your quality of life. You can only control yourself and no one else. You can't control anyone else, just you. Just you, my friend. When it comes to controlling yourself, you cannot control what happens, but you can control what you think and your reaction. Practice makes perfect. Exercise. When you encounter a situation where you are trying to control something or someone, ask yourself, is this something I can control? Usually my answer is no. If the answer is no, then ask yourself, what can I do in this situation to find peace? What can I do in this situation to find peace? And then prioritize the answer. Remember, my beautiful friend, you are the expert of you. No one knows more about you than you. And I encourage you to start asking more questions of yourself. When you're lost, when you're doubting, when you don't know, just place your hand on your heart and ask yourself, what is my next step? What is my next best step? The answers are there. You're incredible. Okay. Using the exercise that I just shared repeatedly and consistently, you will begin to separate yourself from situations you cannot control, and you will shift the focus from others to yourself. Your happiness will greatly increase the more you focus here. The more you focus out there, the less happy you become. The more you focus here, which is where you can control, the better you'll feel, the happier you'll be. You will begin to focus your awareness on finding peace rather than controlling. Developing this skill set will greatly improve your life. It will lead you to trust in the process and accept that each moment, while you may not be able to control others or outside situations, you can always find peace. The truth is that there is very little you can control, so learning to trust and let go of trying to control will increase your quality of life. You can only control yourself, no one else. And honestly, the only thing you can control is your reaction and your thoughts. Practice makes perfect. Exercise. When you encounter a situation where you want to control, ask yourself, is this even something I can control? Is this something I can control? If not, right? Ask yourself, what can I do in this situation? What can I do? You know. Personally, this has been challenging. It's been very hard. It's still hard. I work on this every single day, and I'll probably be working on it until the day I die, but I am getting better. It has taken much dedicated effort to learn to trust. In the past, and still now to a certain extent, I have tried to control my environment, people, situations, and anything else I'm involved with. My husband has been one of my greatest teachers. Early in our marriage, when I would try to control anything outside of myself, my husband would say, "Stay in your lane." In the beginning, this statement mystified me. I literally did not understand being concerned with my actions only. It had become a habit since childhood to worry about everyone and try to control my environment constantly. So for many years now, I have worked on this one situation at a time. I continuously ask myself, what can I do to keep my awareness on me rather than on others? So for many years now, I have worked on this. Oh, I already said that. When I notice I'm trying to mind other people's business, and this happens on the daily several times, I literally pray to keep my awareness on myself. My life has improved 100% the more I keep my awareness on me rather than on others. This is an empowering experience. It has allowed for me to build trust within myself. I now know in my heart that I will be okay no matter what life throws at me, if I can just stay connected to each moment and continuously prioritize finding peace one moment at a time. In my experience, trust comes with practice, time, experience, and investment in faith. Trust takes time to grow. With each experience and each moment, you can either trust that each moment is happening for your highest well-being and actively work on becoming better and learning from each moment, or you can choose to react like a victim and believe that life is happening to you. It is a beautiful thing when you can view each experience as a blessing. Trust doesn't just happen, it is earned, and it takes persistence. It is essential to view each experience with the lens of hope and assess each situation, searching out the good and the potential. With each experience of optimism and learning, you will build upon the understanding that every experience has the potential to be good. This is trust. Trust takes time. My prayer for you. I pray you view each moment as an opportunity to be great and to build a legacy that will inspire future generations. I pray that with each moment, thought, and action, you build trust. Part 5, Chapter 5, Give and Receive. We're in the home stretch. All right. Remember that the book is now available on Audible and iTunes, and you can also get a paper copy anywhere books are sold, and ebook. All right. And please don't forget to share with your friends, because now more than ever during this challenging time, I believe wholeheartedly you can apply Live Your Best Life principles to what is going on in our world right now. All right, drink of water. And then a sip of coffee. And now we're ready to go. All right. Part 5, Chapter 5, Give and Receive. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. By Winston Churchill. One of the quickest routes to inspiration is generosity. When we contribute to others' gain, it is super inspiring. Think back to the last time you gave to someone else. How did it feel? Sometimes when I feel stuck, I think of someone else and I come up with a way to give to them. It can be small, like a note, or big, like planning a special day for someone. Regardless of how big or small the action, it feels good and leads directly to inspiration. Exercise.
Yes, Mommy.
I didn't call you. I love you.
I do.
What is the one thing you could do right now for someone else or a group of people? Okay, here we go. I'm sorry I lost you. I hope you came back. Oh. Okay, good. If you experience any feelings of fear when you want to give, I encourage you to face those fears. There are many reasons to fear giving. Giving creates intimacy. It is scary to become closer to others, but richly rewarding. Exercise. What is stopping you from giving more? What is stopping you from giving more? What is one thing you can do to heal the part of yourself that stops yourself from giving? Generosity helps to get you out of the me perspective. When you give, you are able to witness that your actions matter to others. You matter to others. You have the capacity to bring joy to others. This is much bigger than if you just live for yourself. In my work with patients, I have witnessed over and over when someone has a giving nature and is concerned with others, they do better. People who are living not only for themselves, but for others heal quicker and are more resilient every time, no exceptions. Giving can be really scary. It is intimate, it connects us to another human, and it may create a response where others count on us or have expectations. If you are afraid to give because you worry people will then expect things from you, I invite you to work through this. Others may indeed expect things from you, but it does not mean you have to continue giving if it does not feel right to you. This is a part of having personal boundaries and knowing what you are willing to give and what is not appropriate for you to give. Giving is important, but you should never give so much that you hurt yourself or your immediate family. Making sure when you give to consult with your higher power, it is very simple. Just ask, is it for me to give in this situation? This changed everything for me because I used to just give, and give inappropriately. And now anytime I am asked to give, I just place my hand on my heart and I ask, is it for me to give in this situation? And right away I know, yes or no. All right, as you become more comfortable with giving, you may find it difficult to receive. So I am very comfortable with giving, but I actively have to work on receiving. Receiving is very important. When you give, there's an energy exchange. Every time you give, you have to be willing to receive. Maybe not from the same person, but you need to be willing to receive. I encourage you to work on this. Some people can give freely because they can control the outcome. But when it comes to receiving, they feel out of control, so they will often block receiving. Just as it is healthy to give, it is just as healthy to receive. You can learn so much from yourself through giving and receiving. If you feel uncomfortable, return to the chapter about being uncomfortable and work through it. Learn why you are uncomfortable and grow. Life gets so good when you give freely and receive freely. This is natural order. Both giving and receiving inspires us to be our best selves. We experience the best possible outcomes when we are giving and receiving. I am not just talking about material items. I'm also referring to giving and receiving advice, compliments, experiences, education, lessons, energy, prayers, time, and material items. My prayer for you. I pray you open your heart and mind and give when you are inspired. I pray you receive. I pray you know you are a divine being who is meant to give and receive. Okay, I just have to stretch because my back is a little... I can't believe I've been at this since 9 a.m. 9 a.m. people. All right, so here we go. I think we only have 2 more chapters left. We're doing so good. Chapter 5, or no, part 5, chapter 6. Dun, 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 dun. Gratitude for inspiration. Thank you. Close your eyes and say thank you. Thank you. How does it feel? Can you feel the expansion? If you were with me earlier, you know how good it feels to say thank you. Thank you is such a beautiful phrase that opens your heart and mind. It is right and just to say thank you for any and all blessings. Your world is right when you are thankful. Being thankful shifts your whole perspective. One of the practices that has been instrumental in living my best life is being grateful moment to moment, daily, weekly, yearly, and always. I am forever grateful to Oprah, who inspired me to start a gratitude journal. This one act changed my life and continues to change my life forever. Exercise. Get yourself a journal. Get a journal. It can be a cheap notebook. And begin to dedicate the journal to gratitude and begin to log everything you're grateful for every day. Every day. It will change your life for the better. Hi, Patricia. Nice to see you. Yes, thank you. Feels good. Daily, I recommend at the beginning and or end of your day, list 5 to 10 items you are genuinely grateful for. If you can do this in the morning and at night, your days become crazy better. If you consistently list what you are grateful for, your world will begin to shift. By making it a practice to be grateful, it will change your mindset. Throughout your day, you will begin to look for things to be grateful for. You do not have to wait for the beginning or end of the day. Anytime throughout your day, if you find yourself feeling negative or like you are lacking, you can stop what you're doing until you can name 5 things you are grateful for. I do this almost every day. I remember one day I attended a health lecture and the presenter asked us, what if you woke up and the only things in your life are what you had been grateful for yesterday? How would your world look? Think about that. If you were to wake up tomorrow and the only things that were in your life were the things you felt grateful for today, how would your life look? This really got to me, and it got me to thinking because honestly, I had not been grateful for many things the previous day. Since then, I've come to know that the amount of blessings and abundance present in my life are completely parallel to my level of gratitude. I encourage you to be grateful for everything, big or small, in your life. My prayer for you. I pray you begin to think and feel from a place of complete gratitude. I pray your world transitions into a place of complete blessings. May you bless and be blessed through gratitude. Okay, part 5, choose inspiration conclusion. The universe is not outside of you. Look inside yourself. Everything you want, you already are. Rumi said that. And it goes along with what I think I've said several times. You are the expert of you. You, here. Peace is in here. Inspiration is a feeling, energy, and state of being. While it is a choice, it takes surrender, grace, and practice to choose inspiration. Inspiration is chosen when you focus on your purpose in the world in which you are a part of. The more you begin to look at the world as a whole and you as a small part of the whole, the more you will be able to choose inspiration. It is inspiring to know that while you are a small part of the world, you are definitely a part of something really big. When you choose inspiration and know that you matter in the large scheme of things, you will act differently. You begin to know on a cellular level that your actions matter to others besides just yourself. This increases the quality of your life. Understanding this moment matters above all other moments helps to affirm your relation to your purpose in this world. Be here right now. Absolute inspiration lies right here, not in the future or the past. Living your best life can always be found in this one moment. Learning to trust that you have a purpose and the part you play is essential to the whole will help you to stay connected to this moment. Trusting in the process can feel very uncomfortable. It is essential you learn how to be uncomfortable. Breathing into the feeling of being uncomfortable and staying present in this moment helps you to expand and grow from being uncomfortable. In this moment, when building trust, if it remains challenging to get past feeling uncomfortable, one of the best ways to stay inspired by this process is to give. Give, give, and give some more. Generosity will help you gain perspective and will help you to remember your role, that it extends outside of yourself. And you matter to others. You matter to our world. Being generous will help you to stay in the moment, build trust, and stay inspired with your life. Overall, be grateful for this entire experience. It is a gift to be inspired. Be grateful for all of the precursors to inspiration. Being a part of the whole, feeling uncomfortable, and the present moment, building trust, giving, and receiving. Inspiration fuels the actions which will keep you living your best life. Inspiration fuels the actions which keep you living your best life. My prayer for you. I pray you seek out inspiration daily. I pray you nourish your spirit with the food of inspiration. I pray you continue to expand your inspiration and inspiring all those who come in contact with you. May you build your greatest life and stay inspired always. I'm not going to read part 6, which is about addiction, because I'm losing my voice. And it doesn't apply to everyone. But I do encourage you, if you want access to anything I read, the least expensive way is my ebook. It's only $3.99. Or you can order the physical copy of the book or the audio book. My book's now available on Audible. All right, so we've come to the end. I just have, I need to read to you about commitment. And then I just noticed that on Instagram, I can only be live for an hour, so I have to end and start over. Okay, but I'm going to start over. I'm going to go live right away. Okay, let's see. Share. Thank you for your patience before I get into the commitment. Okay, done. So here we go. We're at the end. Woo, we made it. Ah! Okay, part 7, commitment. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. That was said by Tony Robbins. Commitment is a noun, the state of being obligated or emotionally impelled. I've learned so much about commitment, and it is so, so important. So listen, the state of being obligated or emotionally impelled is commitment. Living your best life will not last long if there's a lack of commitment. If you are not daily committed to living your best life and making the choices necessary for this to happen, it is impossible to have the best life. Every day is another opportunity to commit to your priorities and to engage in the activities that represent your priorities. Without commitment, it is very easy to give up on the actions and choices necessary to live your best life. I want to read that again. This part's really important. Without commitment, because you're not always going to want to do the right thing. You're not always going to want to keep learning about yourself and loving yourself and being your best self and serving others. You're going to have days where you don't want to. This is where commitment comes in. Without commitment, it is very easy to give up on the actions and choices necessary to live your best life. There will be many challenges, scary opportunities, and bold actions needed to live your best life. If you lack commitment, it will be easy to quit on your best life. That's why commitment is so important. Commit, pray for commitment, and recommit each day. You are an amazing, amazing person. You're an amazing, beautiful person. Please hear it. Please receive it. You are incredible. Commit, pray for commitment, and recommit each day. You are an amazing person filled with will and strength. Commit to the dream and actualization of your best life because you matter. My prayer for you, I pray you commit to yourself and your best life. I pray you realize the power of commitment. We are all works in progress. It is my greatest wish that this guide inspire you to take each day one at a time, each moment one at a time. May you commit to small and consistent actions that lead you to live your best life. I wholeheartedly believe that until the moment we die, we have the opportunity to work on self-acceptance and learning to live our best life. I know if you continuously make the 5 critical life choices, you will live your best life ever. So the 5 choices, remember, they are the following. Take complete and radical responsibility. 1. 2, get organized for your success. 3, take care of your beautiful temple. It houses your spirit. Embrace all of you. That's number 4. And choose to be inspired. This guide is here for you anytime you stray from living your best life. The most wonderful, empowering thing about this reality is that it is always, always, always your choice. I invite you to know yourself and know when you are walking away from your happiness so that you can choose to come back. No matter how far you stray, you are always one moment away from embracing this moment and accepting your own greatness. My prayer for you, I pray you embrace all of who you are inside. I pray that you accept your ultimate potential and actualize it daily with each choice that you make. I pray you never, ever, ever take for granted that it takes constant awareness to live your best life. Conclusion. Oh my gosh, we made it, my friend. You're an amazing person with unique gifts. You're so incredible. You're such a beautiful person. I hope you receive that. Living your best life is your birthright, it's your duty, and it's your responsibility. You affect thousands. You affect thousands of people. And the best way to affect people in the positive is to make sure you live your own best life. When you live your best life, you inspire and you give others permission to live their own best life. Don't ever give up. The more consistent and persistent you remain about living your best life, the easier it gets. Pray often and trust in the process. Change will come. When in doubt, just do it. And don't ever, ever forget that you are the expert of you. Tune in. Tune in. Most unhappiness is when we're out there. We can become happy and empowered by coming back to ourselves, coming back in here. That's it. That's Live Your Best Life, available on paperback, ebook, and now audiobook. Thank you to those of you who checked in. Teresa, thank you so much. I'm so grateful you're inspired to live your best life. You're welcome. That makes my heart sing. I'm grateful I did this. It's not easy. The good things are not always easy. I've been live now. I've been reading since 9 a.m. So 8 hours and 15 minutes. I appreciate you too, Teresa. You're such a beautiful person, such a bright light. And I am grateful for you too. And thank you. Thank you for appreciating me. I receive it. I receive it. Thank you. So, Miho, how nice to see you, my beautiful friend. I love, one of my favorite sayings is in Sanskrit, and it's namaste. The sacred in me bows to the sacred in you. I love that. That's how people say hello to each other in India. Can you imagine our world if we said that to each other every time we met? All right. I just want to end by visualizing you healthy, happy, and whole. I visualize you thriving and connecting to the expert that lies within you. I visualize you making the best choices for yourself and for your loved ones. I visualize you inspiring everyone you encounter to do the same. I see you healthy and thriving. May you stay safe and may you stay happy. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this out. Thank you for being with me. And I hope you have an incredible day. Namaste. Thank you, Miho. Thank you for that. Have a great day. Oh my God, I feel like dancing. Let's see, who's live on Instagram? I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of really wonderful DJs are on Instagram these days. And let's see who's live. No. Gary V. No. All right. Have an incredible day. Thank you for watching.